SBI lowers India's financial year 25 GDP growth forecast to 6.3%, below NSO's 6.4%. The State Bank of India has revised its forecast for India's GDP growth in the financial year 2024-25, that is financial year 25, to 6.3%, down from the National Statistical Office projection of 6.4%. The bank attributed the downgrade to multiple economic challenges, including a slowdown in lending and manufacturing, shortly after the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation released its gross domestic product projections on Tuesday. SBI's revision reflects concerns over a slowdown in lending and manufacturing, coupled with the effects of a large base effect from the previous year. The bank highlighted that a general slowdown in aggregate demand is evident in the first advance estimates for GDP, which indicate tempered expectations for financial year 25. Historically, the difference between in RBI's estimate and National Statistical Office estimate is always in the range of 20 to 30 basis points, and hence the 6.4% estimate of the financial year 25 is along expected and reasonable lines. We, however, believe that GDP growth for fiscal year 25 could be around 6.3% with a downward bias, the SBI said in its GDP forecast. The first advance estimates released by the government for financial year 25 suggest a GDP growth rate of 6.4%, a sharp decline from 8.2% in financial year 24. The gross value added growth is also pegged at 6.4%. Despite these challenges, per capita nominal GDP is expected to rise significantly, increasing by 35,000 rupees compared to financial year 23. Why SBI downgraded its GDP projections? According to the National Statistical Office data, agriculture and allied activities are projected to grow by 3.8% in financial year 25, up from 1.4% in financial year 24, driven by robust policy measures and public infrastructure development. However, industry and services is expected to see a slowdown in growth compared to last year. Industry is expected to grow at 6.2% in financial year 25, down from 9.5% in financial year 24, while services is likely to grow by 7.2%, a slight decrease from 7.6% in financial year 24. The report underlined the significance of government consumption, predicting nominal growth of 8.5% and real growth of 4.1%, which is expected to bolster the economy. However, the manufacturing and services sector underperformance poses a substantial challenge to maintaining higher growth rates. Private consumption driving growth. Private consumption has emerged as a key driver of economic growth, with an anticipated real growth rate of 7.3% in financial year 25, up from 4% in financial year 24. This increase is supported by strong agricultural growth and lower food inflation. Despite this positive trend, investment growth has slowed to 6.4%, down from 9% in previous year, with no significant rebound expected in the second half of the financial year. Empirical evidence does suggest a slowdown in credit will push a slowdown in GDP, the SBI mentioned, explaining its growth projections. The National Statistical Office initial advance GDP projections align with the public sector lenders' forecast, predicting a 6.4% real GDP growth for financial year 25. The first half of the financial year is expected to see a growth rate of 6%, with a pickup to 7% in the second half. Despite these projections, weak private investment remains a concern. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you everyone. Bye.